So anyway, I know that you've been in Dubai for some time, right? How long have you been in Dubai?
Been in Dubai for 4 years roughly now.
4 years. Okay. And how do you find Dubai compared to your country?
Okay, I can be a bit more expressive about this. So my country is very calm, 100 times slower than this, and it's more quiet, I would say. I
Quieter.
would not put it as peaceful because it's two different spectrum of the same light, I can say. Well, if you are looking
When you say quiet, because it's up the mountains, or yeah, I know you have, yeah, in Bhutan it's up the mountains, right? But is it because of geography, or it's quiet even if it's not in the mountain?
Well, it's quiet. I mean, in both the senses, it's quiet because number one, yes, geographically, it's at the altitude, high altitude, and number two, also, if you look at the pace of life, the pace of life is slower. We don't have rush, no much of a noise pollution and everything. Well, of course, like when there is more opportunity compared to a city life and a town life and a city life, there will be a vast difference. So I can say my country is a town and Dubai is a city.
Okay.
In that context, it's
So that's why it's quieter.
it's quieter.
Because it's not a city.
It's not.
Yes. And so, did you find it hard to adjust from that kind of life to your country and then here?
Yeah, so the first and foremost, when I came to Dubai, it was on March 2021.
Last year, 2 years ago.
2021.
2021. Okay.
So, of course, I came during the pandemic itself. Though Dubai was open from the pandemic, our country was still not open. So that was another reason why it was more quieter than the usual quiet back home. Number two, it was still winter.
Okay.
And,
Well, Dubai was already getting hot at that time.
it was already hot, it was open, everything was running smoothly, and
Were you surprised?
surprised in terms of,
I mean, like coming from a quiet, from a very cold place, and then suddenly you come to Dubai and it's warmer and it's open and it's busy.
okay, so in that thing, like because as I said before the pandemic, I was multitasking at home. You know, I was running a gym, I was running a tourism company, I was running a cafe, and
Wow.
also I was working in a bank. So when pandemic happened, it was just that, like when it crushed, I realized that I was around one thing. Like, you know, the concept of my work, though I had multiple sources of work, but it was around one thing. And everything crashed. It was just that I was working that kept me earning a little bit, but my gym was closed, cafe was closed, tourism was closed.
Because of the pandemic.
Because of the pandemic. And then I realized that, okay, I need to do something. I need to, because I'm someone, I realized in a very young age that when I have energy, when I can do things, let me figure out multiple things that I can do so that as I age up, I don't have to be thinking too much. You know, how to, I mean, like how elderly people say, get settled. So
Okay.
I don't have to think of all those.
So is that one of the reasons why you left your country and come to Dubai?
Yes, I would say yes. I left because of that. Because it was not opening, there was no news of country getting open.
And you
up.
were already married then, that time, when you left? Not yet?
Yes. So it was like my wife, she was already here.
So she was here first before you.
So she was staying here 4 years, and she decided to like just finish everything
And go back.
Good.
And then you told her, no, wait for me, I'm coming there.
No, she came back home. She came back home, and then I decided, like, I was already decided that I will be coming to Dubai, but she wanted to come back home. So I felt like maybe she's feeling all those, homesick, missing parents, family, the society, the quiet again, the calmness over there. So yeah, I told her to come back, feel it, because as I know now, if I go back to my country, leaving everything, it's not how I left before. A lot of things have changed. So
Back in your country.
Yes. So I will not be feeling that same peace and calmness I used to feel it back then. Also, another reason I am now getting used to this life, fast-paced life over here, hustle. I see like things coming to me, and as I know, like I have to work towards it. It's coming to me. So if I quit now and I go back, I will feel like things will be empty again. It will be more dull than it ever would be. So she came back, she felt that, and we again decided to come back.
Together.
So I had a bit of idea about how the city would
And she did not discourage you to come because, like as you said, she was here 4 years before and then came back.
So she, now it's a bit personal about her. She had some personal issues before for why she left Bhutan and she came here. And as she came here, it was just a escape way for her from that particular things that was happening in her life. Now, after she came here, she didn't choose this as an opportunity to become or develop something for herself. And when I spoke about my ideas, my approach to life, how I'm gonna work over here, how things are gonna happen, how we will be working together towards one goal, she didn't discourage me. She was like, okay, life is gonna be a bit harsh. It's not gonna be as comfy and warm and however it is at home. But that was not, I don't know how she said it, but for me, you put a challenge in front of me, you challenge me for something and discourage me for something, I will feel it as, someone is provoking me that I cannot do something, and I don't like that. It's not that I have to prove my point every time. I just want to know that things that I feel I can do it, I have to do it, and I should prove that I can do it. So I came here, it was a challenge for me. Interestingly, the very first year that I came in, I tried in fitness industries as I was working here before. None of the none of the fitness field accepted my CVs, my certificate, saying that it's not UAE. And that was sad. But still I didn't give up. I was working in one retail, it's like more of a kids play area. I was working there. I worked there for a year. In the meanwhile, I was looking for auditions, movies. Even as I mentioned you before, that I was working into an action choreography with some friends. So I was also trying for those things, and things aligned. In the meanwhile, I got the certificate for PT as well, personal training as well.
Okay.
So then I quit the job. I was doing freelance personal training. That's when we met.
That's when we met.
Yes,
Okay.
I was doing the shoots and everything as and where I was getting, as and where I was being called for audition. I was trying everything, and that was where we met.
And during this time, or when this was all happening, where was Yeshuda? Or what was Yeshuda doing?
So she was also juggling with her career. She was working because she was working in retail when she came here.
Okay.
So she felt comfortable there.
Okay,
So
but she's a graduate of media, right? That's okay.
She never put her thought towards doing that.
Okay.
Until
She was maybe happy or contented with the retail.
well, she blocked everything. She never thought of it.
Okay.
And as I was thinking, like, okay, we can go hand in hand. Let's make one thing stable, then the other one figures out what they have to do. So PT came as something stable for me. I got the clients. I was doing fine enough. That's when I told her that okay, now it's her turn. Figure out what she wants to do. she also tried multiple media fields, content creation, digital marketing, advertisement, but she didn't feel comfortable, she didn't feel normal. And then she jumped into the retail itself, got a little improvement. She was working as a supervisor and assistant manager to the particular store, and yeah, she was working that way. Then eventually, an offer came to me for a work in one of the new company that was happening in Dubai, fitness itself, but more of rehabilitation. I took that offer because it was paying me fine enough, giving me at least a stability to let Yashoda rest and figure out what she wants to do. And that's when I asked her to quit her job and work more onto what she wants to do in life. While I was helping her, to which when doing that, I also realized that I have a bit of psychological, the psychology thing in me, counseling thing in me. So I was working on that as well. And so that was what was happening all around until now.
Okay. Now, when all of this was happening, how's your parents reacting to all this? What's the say of your mom, of your dad?
Okay, now it's again another interesting story when it comes to my dad. So even now he insists me coming back home and doing engineering, as I have been an engineer. I have completed bachelor's in engineering.
Oh, okay. Which engineering?
Civil engineering.
Okay.
So him himself being an engineer, and I would say he is one of the finest engineers I have met. But I'm not that. He still insists me on coming back home, finding
and practice that.
Yeah, practice that, finding a job.
And you did not think of practicing that job or looking for that job here in Dubai?
Well,
as an engineer, as a civil engineer?
After graduation, 2017, one whole year, I was working as an engineer back home. But it didn't give me that,
you were not happy?
Yes, my mind and my body was not working together. So the end result, though I put in an effort to finish what was given to me, but the end result was not as what I wanted. It never satisfied me. And I realized that why should I be pleasing everybody, even if it is my dad or mom, and sacrifice my life? Of course, that might be a little bit selfish, coming to a point of son being a shoulder to a father.
And you did not think about that when you were studying? You thought about that when you finished?
No. I thought about this.
But you wanted to please your father?
Yes, it was like more of an ego trip for my dad, taking his ego in consideration. And after finishing that, I was working for his sake. I worked. And it didn't happen good. And I told him directly
that you're not happy.
That I'm not happy. And he asked me one day, what am I gonna do in life? Well, I didn't know what I'm gonna do, but I knew one thing, that I'm not gonna settle for something less. I tried multiple jobs. You can name any job. I will not say I didn't do it, just to figure out what I want to do, which gave me an idea that I would want to be a lot of things, but I cannot be consistently be doing that thing, because after learning few things and doing it for some time, I need some changes in it. I cannot be on a stagnant phase forever.
I think that's what made acting. That's what made you happy acting,
yes.
Because that when you do an acting, you become a character, or you become that person for a short time,
exactly.
And then you change again.
Exactly. And it's also like my character, knowing myself. For me, I would love doing things. I want things to be very, very, whatever I put my hand into, I don't want to leave it incomplete. but it should be like a project. For example, you give me a project. Well, talking about project, back in college, it's an interesting story. Right? So back in college, we had to, like from first year till fourth year, we will be given a project that we need to work on according to the subjects that we study.
Okay.
So we have to fill in the concept of the subject in that particular project that we do. So on a first year, the teacher divided us into groups, and I was put into one of the groups. Well, reaching third year, I was never invited into that group ever. It was a group of nerds, those who will study and da. Me, I never studied. I was more into music, singing, martial arts, doing co-curricular activities mostly. So, reaching third year, when the teacher again revised the members to let them know that everybody is participating, my name didn't come up, you know, in any of the group. And I just stood up and told him that, okay, my name didn't come up. So he was like, okay, whose group were you in? So when I named that group, the members denied that I was in that group.
Okay.
Interesting. Now, it hit my ego, you know. And at once I told them that, okay, I will do my project from the beginning just by myself. I don't need any group. It's gonna be more easy for me. I don't need any group. I will do all the research, which will be more educating to me, and I did it. By the end of fourth year, when I had to submit that project, I was the only one person who was doing it by myself. I did the project amazingly well. It stood fifth among the group of 20. It stood fifth. And if I'm not wrong, every member at least had 10 to 12 members. Every group had 10 to 12 members. I was alone. So it also proved the concept of too many cooks spoil the food. If you don't know how to organize the team members, things get messed up. One will be working, the other one will be resting. For me, it was one-man game. I made the project amazingly well. So it made my dad happy. And after that, after 2017, I was working as an engineer. Well, it didn't. I completed 4 projects in 1 year span. So it was like minor projects, small projects, but yeah, I completed it by myself. But after the 4 projects was done, I approached my dad and told him that for his words, I kept his words. I studied engineering. I put in my 4 years. I did what I had to do. Even 1 year after that, I tried putting myself into the real life scenario. I worked as an engineer, but that did not satisfy me. To which he gave me an ultimatum: do what you want to do.
Your dad.
Do what you want to do. Just make sure that you stand tall on your feet in front of people who talk shit about you behind.